Most men, I was the same way. We think that we're going to find our purpose in what we do, and it, we can. We like that can be a way to discover our purpose. However, most of the time, when we're leading with purpose, when we're leading with the doing to discover our purpose, it's so easily to feed the false self. And a kind of a silly example is when I was a little boy. I grew up on a ranch, and I had a rope in my hand when I was in diapers. So I'd have little boots on, and I'd be in diapers, and I had a rope in my hand. And I remember getting in trouble because I had a piggin string, which is what you use to tie calves' legs together. I was a tie down roper, and I crawled up over the edge of my sister's crib, who's a year and a half younger than me, and I tied her up like a little calf. And I was maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. And I got in trouble for that. But my whole life I was brought up, I was raised to be a cowboy. Shocker, I ended up being a pretty good cowboy. Well, it was the environment in which I was raised. It was a way for me to show out, because when we would get together and work cattle, even if it was just my dad and my uncle and stuff, I would want to be as good as them, and I would want to do things on my horse and all that kind of stuff. And my performance, what I did, how well I did it, ended up being an integral part of my young identity. Okay. And so I thought in order to really follow my purpose in life, it was to be a full time cowboy, to make a living with my rope and throwing steers down. And fortunately, I was able to do that. I'll tell you another little story. So I'm little, and I do something, and mom goes, JD, what a good little cowboy. And then I'm a little older. JD, you're a good cowboy. And then I'm in high school, and I win all around, and I win a whole bunch of stuff. I get interviews. What a great cowboy. You're such a good cowboy. Then I go to college on a rodeo scholarship. On the national, I was a captain of the national collegiate champion team, men's team. Man, you're a great cowboy. You got to go pro, right? Then I go pro rodeo, and I make the national finals rodeo in 2 events, which not very many guys do. And that's my purpose. I'm a great cowboy. No, it was hollow. Um, it was a misplaced purpose. Rodeo was something that I had an aptitude for, and it was something that got edified in me because I had an aptitude. And oh, by the way, because I'm oriented to really enjoy attaboys, ask my wife and my kids, Dad, you need an attaboy? I'm doing the dishes or whatever, need a little pat on the back. I'm like, yeah, always. But I respond um, to being celebrated and being on the big stage and all that kind of stuff. And so most alpha guys um, are where they are because they believe that in sport and in business, in I mean fishing, like pool, pickleball, whatever they do, that how they do the thing is is uh, is a reflection of their identity, and that somehow that their purpose is going to be fulfilled in all of that. And it's just like that far off. And so I like to say that when we have our identity secure in knowing who God says we are, that I am made in his image and likeness, that I am designed by the creator of the universe to bear his image on the earth, that I am to steward peace, that I am to be a conduit on the earth for the glory of God. What is that? That is God's ways. That's his economy. That's that's everything about him impacting the earth. And so if I have my identity secure in that, and then whatever I put my hands to, because my purpose is right there. My identity is that. What is my purpose? It's to share the glory of God on earth. How do I do that? I do it through rodeo. I do it through pickleball. I do it through being a dad. I do it through in the way that I care for my friends and my family. I do it in the way where where I steward and contend for peace, and I try to bring peace and the Shekinah glory of God into every situation. Do I fail at that? Yeah, I do. Is that my desire? Is that my purpose? Yeah. And so I liken it to, I mean, most everybody's watched Steph Curry play basketball. He's just playing. It's like he's on a grade school schoolyard and he's on the biggest stage in the NBA. Or Patrick Mahomes before he was hurt the last 3 years. He's throwing these crazy little passes and he is like a giant amongst like these mere mortals. He's doing things with his body and playing, and I believe that I don't know where I believe Steph is a believer. I believe that Patrick is too. That they're both in Christ. But it's a beautiful picture of when you know who you are and you know your giftings, then you're released, and you're not striving, and you're not so tethered to your performance that it's just going to crush you. It's going to be a reflection of your identity. No, no, no. Your identity is secure. When you know who you are in the Lord, you can go through a crushing defeat and not kick the dog when you go home, not be a jerk to your kids and your wife. It's a game changer. If any of what I've just said resonates with you at some level and you'd like to connect with me, there will be a link here to get to my website and get some resources. And I'd like to get to know you, and maybe we can walk this thing out together.